What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Queen Sugar season 4, episode 4. Nova. Nova. Every week I think it can't get no deeper, and it gets deeper. Nova, what is wrong with you? Anyway, I really want to cuss Nova out, but I don't want this video to get flagged. So anyway, let's move on. So we start the episode off. We see Nova talking to Micah. She's getting ready to go on her book tour. So she's got Micah, the only person that's still speaking to her at this point. He's going to come down, water her plants, check on the house, that kind of thing for her. And she says, look, if this is going to cause problems between you and your mom, I can find somebody else to handle this. He was like, no, I'm fine. I want to do it. He was like, and, drive down might help me figure out what I'm doing with my life. And Nova says, look, if there's any consolation, I don't know what I'm doing with my life either. And they sort of laugh, but then Nova starts crying. And Micah says, I don't understand why they think the silent treatment is going to help anything. So that lets you know what's kind of going on, that they're kind of giving her the silent treatment, which we knew, but, that Micah understands what's going on as well. And she said, well, they're angry right now, but in the long run, I just pray that we'll be able to come back together. And Micah was like, well, I didn't think me and my family would ever be able to come back together. And he said, yeah, but we're in the same room. We're able to do it. And she said, that's what I'm praying for, that we'll be able to get past this and come back together. I don't know. I'm going to tell y'all what I think is going to have to happen. I'll say it at the end, though, because I'll get there at the end. So then we see Charley. They done set the clinic up, baby. They're up and running. Her Latin lover done got the clinic going, and they said it's a designated safe space. But I don't know who designated it a safe space from ICE. I mean, I know that there are sanctuary cities. I get that, but how you gonna guarantee these people are safe? There's a reason why they don't go to the doctor. But neither here nor there. They think that it's up in the cut far enough that can't nobody get through. So then Micah comes in, and he, that's the first time he's meeting old boy, and you can tell he kind of feel like it's maybe a little something going on, but not quite sure if there's a little something going on. But he's of course happy to see what his mom is doing. He loved all of that. So, of course he's happy to see his mom helping out the migrant farmers and the undocumented workers and things like that. So, then she gets a text. Micah's like, what's that about? Come to find out, they caught the guy who's been sending Micah the letters and everything. And, she says, look, you handled it well. Not everybody could handle what you went through, but you did a good job at handling it. And he was like, Ma, I really appreciate that you took care of it for me. I really appreciate that you handled it. Over to the diner. Oh, we see Vi's still going through it. We see her in Hollywood. She's been up all night. Hollywood know that she's going through, and all he can do is let her know he's there for her. And he's like, look, let's talk about it. Like, we need to talk about him. We need to talk about Nova. She was like, don't say her name. We ain't talking about him, and we ain't talking about her. I'm glad you handled it. You got rid of him, and that's good. I'm done. But of course you're not. You know what I mean? You're not. You're hurt. You're angry, but you ain't done with it. So we get to the diner, and Vi is snapping at people because she's on edge, and then she's dealing with a little PTSD. We see that she's still dealing with what happened between her. Seeing him brought up stuff that she probably hasn't dealt with in years. So she's getting a pie order together for Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel has started a program. We'll get to that in a minute. And she's getting his order together, and come to find out, Vi's sort of hiding out in the back because Nova has been stalking them at the diner. She's been coming past the diner every day, and Vi won't even let her in the diner. So Ralph Angel came through the back, and Vi was like, why are you coming through the back of the diner? He was like, because your niece out front. And so we see where she sends, what's her name? Rosalind, the lady that works for her, sent her to go. She was like, go handle it. So clearly this is something that happens every day. And Nova was like, well, can you just tell her? She was like, ain't no need in you telling me what to say. The minute I open my mouth and say Nova said, they cut me off, and she don't want to hear what you got to say. She was like, look, I hate to be in the middle of this. I'm sorry to have to turn your way, but she does not want you here. She does not want you here. She doesn't want to hear what you have to say. I'm sorry. And you can see that she really don't want to be in the middle of it. But she like, look, I'm sorry. I can't, she don't want you here. And, poor Nova, she's looking through the window trying to get a glimpse. Honey, they got Nova on radio silent. They show her calling. Every time she called, it goes straight to voicemail. I don't know if they got her number blocked or what, but it don't even ring when she called. It goes straight to voicemail. And she's telling them, well, look, I'm leaving for my book tour. I'm leaving for my book tour. I'm leaving for my book tour. She was doing a reading and a book signing before she left to go out of town. And of course, she invited the whole family. And her and Micah talked about that as well. And, Micah was like, you think any of them are going to come? She was like, I hope so. Come to find out, Ralph Angel has started a reentry program where he is going to employ um, guys, men and women who are just coming out of jail and give them opportunity to work on the farm. He was like, look, it's hard work. It ain't going to be easy, but hey, I'm here to give you an opportunity. I want to make sure that you don't become a statistic. They say 50% will end up back in jail. I'm trying to make sure it ain't this 50%. And one of the guys was like, well, is it steady work? Because, I heard with work, farming ain't steady work. Ralph Angel ain't never answered that damn question. He ain't never say yay or nay about the steady work. I said, okay, Ralph Angel. You might want to go on and address that. But he ain't never say nothing about that. But that's what he was getting the prize for. So, and he named it after his dad. It's called the Ernest Bordelon Reentry Program. So I was like, okay, Ralph Angel, I see you making some moves. And I hope it doesn't bite him in the butt. I hope it works out for him. We find out what them Landrys are really and the Boudreaux are really up to. I can't get into all in the ins and outs, but let me just make it real plain for y'all. They bought up a bunch of land because there was a highway that was supposed to go through a different parish, St. Thomas. But now it's going through St. Joe's. It's going straight through their parish. It's going through a whole bunch of farmland, including Ralph Angel's farm. And the Boudreaux, the Landrys or whatever, are buying up all of this land so they're building this big business park. And it's already pretty much a done deal. And they done convinced. Remember the woman that helped them shut down the jail that was on the city council? They done basically threatened her, blackmailed her, whatever, to give up her seat and let Jacob run for her seat so that he'll be on the city council and they won't have to run into the same problem they ran into with the jail. So Charley is like, oh my gosh, like that's what's really been going on. Like that's what they've been doing. And then on top of that, not only is it affecting the other farmers, but of course it's affecting Ralph Angel because it's going right through. And with eminent domain and everything else, it might not be a whole lot they can do about it. So, but y'all know Charley. Y'all know Charley. She done put a hump in her back, baby. So remember last week when I was saying how every time Nova gets knocked down with the family, she gets validation in other ways that makes her feel like what she did was right. So she gets a call from her publisher and come to find out that her book tour has turned into, instead of it being like a 2 or 3 city book tour, it's a 6-week book tour. And they've added all these major cities based on the review she got from the New York Times. So it's almost a guaranteed bestseller at this point. So now, once again, she's justified in what she did because she's getting accolades from people outside of the family. Because you're getting accolades from people who haven't had nothing to do with it. You didn't hurt them. You didn't expose their secrets. But Nova doesn't see it that way. Nova sees it as, I'm doing the right thing. I'm telling people's story because it needs to get out. We see another scene where Ava dealing with a little bit of PTSD. She's just dealing with some PTSD. Like I said, seeing Jimmy Dale has stirred up all of these extra emotions of stuff that either she suppressed or never dealt with to begin with. So I'm sure, and I'm sure Jimmy Dale ain't gone nowhere. He's still in town somewhere. He's just hiding out, waiting for his opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pop out on Ava when she by herself again or something like that, because he don't want to wrestle with Hollywood again. He gonna wait till he get her alone. But I'm afraid that he's going to do something to Ava, but we'll get there too. Charley rolls up on old girl. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The woman that she thought she was in business with, the Landry woman. And she lets her know that she knows what's going on and she ain't gonna have it. And so she tries to threaten, Charley, talking about, I read your sister's book. And, after, the way, you conquered Hollywood and the way you conquered the NBA, I thought you would understand capitalism. I mean, that's just all this is capitalism. I mean, you're on the board, so any money we make, you're going to make. Charley said, you know what? No, before that, she told Charley, she said, 40 years ago, you'd be lucky to be able to wash the toilets here, because she was at the country club. She said, and yet look at you. You walked right in here like you own the place. Look on Charlie's face, baby. She said, first of all, don't think you know me because you read my sister's little bullshit book. Don't think you know me. You don't know me. She said, and what you just said proves my point. I did conquer Hollywood. I did conquer the NBA. So you think I can't conquer this? You think I can't win? She said, you don't know the half of what I can do. Baby, this showdown is about to get good, good, and good. Because I do think they underestimated Charley. I don't think Charley was naive enough to think that they were going to be fair with her. However, she didn't see this coming, but she let her know that she knew what was up. And then she dropped on them that she knew about them running Jacob for city council. She was like, oh, you thought I didn't know about that? Yeah, I know about that too. So I don't know what Charley's first line of defense is gonna be, but she definitely got a game plan. You saw her later on in the episode in her office getting everything together, and all of that. So we see a scene with Ralph Angel and the guy he hired, the ex-con that he hired. And it's out that Ralph Angel ain't Blue's daddy. And he brings that up to Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel was ready. Ralph Angel was ready. He had an attitude. He was ready to give it to him. He was like, no, I just want to let you know. I just think that's real admirable of me. Of you. He was like, my daddy wasn't there for me. I ain't had biological or otherwise. And I just want to let you know that I really respect what you're doing. I really respect, um, what I really respect the fact that you did that for him, and, you know, basically, I know I respect what you're doing. Keep it up. And so again, that gives Ralph Angel the same thing that um my man told him last week about daddy and father are two different things. You know what I'm saying? And you are Blue's daddy. Don't matter who his father is, you his daddy. And so again, I think that helped Ralph Angel. All right, here come Davis. Davis shows up at the house with his love child. Now, here's the thing. Charley was there. They thought Charley wasn't home. Micah didn't know his mama was there. He told his daddy, come on over. He knew daddy was bringing the baby with him. And they come in, and she's a cute little girl. She's a little cutie. And, of course, Charley is blindsided by it, and you see it on her face. And Davis was like, well, we were getting ready to go to breakfast. You want to come with us? Charley was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, what? So Micah takes the little girl into the kitchen. I think her name is Tia. She's a cute little girl, though. Takes her into the kitchen to give her a soda so that Davis and Charley can talk. And Charley was like, what the hell? She said, look, Davis, I would never take out on a child. She's innocent in this. You're the one that fucked this up. So that's your love child. That's your responsibility. You're not going to trick me, manipulate me, or guilt me into helping you raise this child. That is on you. Because come to find out, Davis is retiring and he's going to go coach at Baylor, which is close by. And he said she said that's great. That's great for Micah. Y'all can spend some time together. Micah can get to know his sister. But as far as me and mine, I ain't got nothing to do with this because he told me something. Well, we can all go to breakfast together as a family. Charley said, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere with you. That is your child that you kept a secret from us while we were married. Don't bring me into that. And I don't understand why people just feel like they can just, like, when they get over something, everybody's supposed to be over it. So you told her about the baby, and she's supposed to just be like, oh, okay then. And the mother died, and now you have the child, so everybody's supposed to just be like, oh, okay then. So this was the part where Nova, I I don't understand, Nova. I don't understand what you doing, Nova. I don't understand how you thinking, Nova. I don't understand none of this, Nova. None of this. So Nova's doing a book reading. Of course, nobody showed up from the family except for Micah. And she says, well, I want to read you a part of the book that I wasn't going to include. I didn't decide to include it until the last minute. So it's not in the original manuscript that Ralph Angel, Charley, and Vi have. So they haven't heard this part. So she tells a story about the fishing trip, which we learned about that last season. When she went to go fishing, her father left her in the car to go get the bait. Father came back without the bait. The white man was, come to find out the white man had threatened to do something to Nova. Nova said, my dad kept a tight, kept me on a short leash after that. Kept a good eye on me after that. Worried about those white men coming back doing what they said they were going to do to me. She said, but I used to like to walk around at night in the forest. And I thought she was going to say them men got her. She said, but one night I was walking through and I saw my daddy. I saw him digging a ditch. And I saw him putting some big old mounds in that ditch. She said, I don't know what was in that ditch. I don't know what my father buried that night, but I know that after that, he didn't look worried anymore. And I never saw those white men again. I said, Nova, did you just tell everybody that your daddy killed somebody? She said, my father never saw me that night and I never brought it up to him. I said, what in the hell? Like, Nova, once again, at what point do you think it's okay to tell all your family secrets? Are you serious right now? Like, you really sitting here telling the world that your daddy killed some white men? Oh, I looked at that thing. I was so mad. I was so mad at Nova. I couldn't believe she told that story. And you telling it, well, it's in the book, so it don't matter. But then you telling it to a room of people. So then when it was over, yeah, I remember the girlfriend Nova had back, like season one, the activist. She came up to Nova and told her, she was very proud of her. She was good to see her. It was good to see her. And she kind of say, look, you want to, she said, I've been working on myself, She said, I know we didn't end in a really good place, but, I've been working on myself. I'm in a better place now. And, let's hang out sometime. Matter of fact, let's hang out tonight. And she let it be known that she wanted to do more than hang out, if you know what I'm saying. And, Nova was like, well, I appreciate that, but no, I kind of got plans tonight. She said, okay, no problem. She said, well, maybe, it's cool. So then she leans over and gives her a big old kiss. I said, okay, well, if you didn't know what she wanted, she made that very clear. What she wants is very clear at this point. So Nova gets home that night. Well, we see, rewind. We see Darla bought a copy of the book, and Darla reads the chapter that's about her. And she changes Darla's name, but it don't matter. She describes how Darla was a hoe, selling her body for crack, and how Blue was over in the corner while she was laid across the bed, selling her body for her crack, and Blue was neglected. So she gets home, and who shows up at her house but Darla? Darla gave it to her. Darla said, how dare you? She said, well, Darla, I protected you. I changed your names. You're the only person in the book that I changed the names so that to try to protect. She said, everybody in the world's going. She said, everybody in this town will know it's me. She said, the world might not know, but everybody that I care about will know. She said, you are messing up the new life that I have built for myself. Everybody's going to know about my story. And it wasn't your story to tell. She gonna say, well, I thought you of all people would understand. She was like, what the hell is that supposed to mean that I would understand? She was like, that wasn't your story to tell. That was my story. She was like, yes, but it's a story of redemption and perseverance and how you can overcome obstacles. She was like, bitch, I don't want no. Once again, Nova not understanding that just because you think what I did is great or wonderful doesn't give you permission to tell it. You don't get to tell my story. I don't know how many different times and ways I can say that. You don't get to tell my story. She told her, she said, let me tell you something. Don't you ever come around me or Blue again. Ever. I said, well, Ralph Angel already told her she couldn't come around blue, but now you can't get the blue no kind of way. Now you can't get to him on the left or on the right. Anyway, so then Micah goes home and Charley asked him how was the book reading and everything. And she said, it's okay. You can tell me how it went. And Micah said, it went really well. He said, Nova told a story about Granddad. Charley was like, well, what story was this? And he told her the story about um, the body being buried. She said, I don't remember reading anything like that. He said, oh, she added it at the last minute. It's not in the original manuscript, but it's in the book. Charley went directly to Vi and Ralph Angel and Hollywood. They had a little family meeting. And Vi said, why are we talking about this? I don't understand why we have to keep we agreed we weren't gonna talk about Nova. We agreed that she was dead to us. Charley said, yeah, but we need to talk about this. Like, is that story true? Vi said, I don't know. She said, I don't know what secrets my brother took with him because those were his secrets and I'm going to respect that. She said, but if you're asking me whether it's true or not, I don't know. But what I do know is that after that encounter, he was worried about something happening to Nova. And I know that something happened and he wasn't worried no more. So if he took care of it, oh well. But again, Nova, you don't have a right to tell that story. So now the family got to get ready for that part of the story being told. And any questions that might come from that part of the story being told. Because now you can talk about a body being buried on the land that they trying to save from the Landrys. You giving them probable cause, or I don't know no legal terms, to go dig up the whole damn farm looking for these bodies. Nova come home to an empty house. She's still trying to call all of them. They won't answer the phone. She getting drunk. So she ended up calling old girl like, look, why don't you come on over? She said, you know what? Why didn't you come to me? I made it very clear that I was interested in hanging out with you. You shot me down. So why are you calling me for me to come to you? Why didn't you ask if you could come to me? She said, you the same old Nova. You want things on your terms, the way you want them. She said, I've been working on myself. And I am willing to sit down with you and let you talk out whatever problems you have. Nova said, nah, you know what? This was a bad idea. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But she was right. She was right about talking about Nova. So the last thing we see is Nova. No, Darla went to Ralph Angel. When he came back from the meeting with Aunt Vi and Charley, Darla was on the porch waiting for him and she was crying. And she told him, she said, it's in the book. She wrote about me in the book. She told my story in the book. And she's just crying and Ralph Angel's just holding her because, I mean, damn, right? Then we see Ava at the house. She's in the bathroom getting ready to take a bath. Hollywood is like, come on in here. You know what you doing? She said, I'm just going to take me a bath. I'll be in a minute. She got the water turned on. And she's got a towel and she is screaming into that towel and crying and screaming and crying, trying to muffle, but of course Hollywood can hear her. He can hear her. But she is on the floor. I mean, she is going through it. And Hollywood is just sitting there. I mean, what can he do? What can he do? And then we see Charley say, we just see everybody in their moment. We see, Charley was going through the book, but that was before all of that. Anyway, so the last thing we see, Charley dropping Micah off to go have lunch with his dad or breakfast with his dad and his new sister. And then we see Nova sitting on the couch, got her luggage and stuff because she's getting ready to go on her book tour. She's getting ready to be gone for 6 weeks. Gone on her book tour. We see her try to call Ralph Angel. We see her try to call Aunt Vi. We see her try to call Charley. All of it goes straight to voicemail. And so she's getting ready to leave. Now, at the beginning of my review, I said I don't know what's going to bring Nova back around. The only thing I could really see bringing something back around is tragedy. And I hate to put it out there. Like, I don't think nobody about to die. That's not what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking there's going to be some tragedy. Because tragedy, unfortunately, is what brings families back together. Nothing lets you get past something real quick than thinking that somebody about to die. And with Vi and Jimmy Dale lurking around, with Nova about to get on a bunch of planes over the next 6 weeks. Like, I just feel like that's what's gonna bring them back together. I'm not predicting it. I ain't saying I want it to happen, but I don't know no other way that this comes back together. Anyway, with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.